The Sex Manchester, England. 2019 years the building only had 2 floors. That was the first thing Emma should have remembered. She moved into number 14, Calder Street, on a wet Saturday in October. It wasn't much of a flat. 1 bedroom, small kitchen, bathroom with a shower that took 5 minutes to become warm and another 10 minutes to decide whether it wanted to remain that way. But it was cheap, and after separating from Mark, cheap mattered. The building itself was Victorian, 4 flats downstairs, 4 upstairs, and above the 2nd floor, an attic. Nothing more. Emma knew that because the letting agent had shown her the floor plan. So when she heard footsteps above her bedroom, on her first night, she assumed they were coming from the attic. 3 slow steps. Pause. 3 more. Pause. Emma lay awake, listening. Step, step. Then silence. Old building, she thought. Pipes. Wood expanding. Mice, very large mice, wearing boots. She laughed at herself, rolled over and went to sleep. The following morning, she met her neighbor. His name was Alan. He lived across the landing and looked about 70. Settling in, he asked. Trying to. Emma smiled. Someone upstairs was having a wander about last night. Alan's expression changed. Only slightly. But Emma noticed. Upstairs, the attic. Alan stared at her. Then, he smiled. Old building. That was exactly what Emma had told herself. So she forgot about it. For 3 nights, nothing happened. Then, Thursday morning, Emma found a letter on the mat. Not unusual, except it wasn't addressed to her. The envelope read, Miss Sarah else, SCF flight 12 SCHIRDF flow 14 KLDS CSTR to Emma turned the envelope over. No return address. The postmark was faded. She took it across to Alan. Do you know who Sarah Wells is? Alan looked at the envelope. The color left his face. Where did you get that? Through my door. Throw it away. Emma laughed. I'm not opening somebody else's post. I didn't say don't open it. Alan looked towards the stairs. I said throw it away. Then, he closed his door. That evening, Emma searched online. Nothing. No Sarah Wells, no 3rd floor. The building had 8 flats. Always had. At least according to the records she found. At 11:30, Emma went to bed. At 2:17, the footsteps returned. Step, 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 pause, step, step, step. Emma opened her eyes. This time, something was different. The footsteps weren't above her, they were on the stairs, coming down, step, step. Emma sat upright. The sound reached the landing, then stopped outside her flat. Silence. Emma waited. Someone slid something beneath her bedroom door, a piece of paper. Emma stared at it. She got out of bed and picked it up. It was the envelope, the one she'd thrown into the outside bin 6 hours earlier. Except now it was open. Inside was a single sheet of paper. 3 words, Idabo ang Fiakayan A7. Emma didn't sleep. The next morning, she confronted Alan. He let her inside. His flat smelled of cigarettes and furniture polish. Emma placed the letter on his table. Tell me. Alan stared at it for a long time. Then he sat down. Sarah Wells lived here. When? Before you were born. Emma waited. 1978. Alan rubbed his hands together. I was 17. My parents lived downstairs. There were 8 flats then, same as now. Emma frowned. Then why does this say 3rd floor? Alan looked at her. Because Sarah said she lived there. Emma stared. That's ridiculous. I know, Alan continued. She appeared one winter. Nobody knew where she'd come from. Young woman, early 20s. People saw her entering the building, walking upstairs. But nobody ever saw her come back down. Emma sat opposite him. Where did she actually live? Alan shook his head. Nobody knew. Then one night, my dad followed her. He watched her climb to the 2nd floor. Then, she kept going. Emma felt something cold move across her back. What do you mean? There was another staircase. Alan pointed towards the ceiling. Where the attic stairs are now. Emma whispered. A 3rd floor? Alan nodded. My dad said there was a corridor. 4 doors. Numbers 9, 10, 11 and 12. Emma looked towards the hallway. What happened? He came downstairs. Called the police. They went up. There was nothing there. Just the attic. Emma swallowed. and Sarah disappeared. 2 weeks later, a smell started coming through the ceiling. They searched the attic. Found her body. Emma stared at him. How did she die? Alan looked down. That's the strange part. She'd been dead for nearly 60 years. Emma said nothing. Alan continued. The clothes, the dental work, everything. They eventually identified her from records. Sarah Wells, born 1892, disappeared 1914. From this building, Alan nodded. The building used to have 3 floors. What happened to it? Fire. 1914, the top floor burned. 4 people died. Afterwards, they removed what remained and built the roof over the 2nd floor. Emma looked at the letter. Then who sent this? Alan didn't answer. Emma returned to her flat. She decided she was leaving. That afternoon, she called the letting agent. She packed 2 suitcases. At 6:30, her sister agreed to collect her. At 5:47, Emma heard someone climbing the stairs. She assumed it was her sister arriving early. Then the footsteps passed her floor and continued upwards. Step, step, step. Emma opened her door. The landing was empty. But at the far end, where there should have been a wall, there was a staircase. Going up. Emma couldn't move. Warm yellow light came from above. Someone was humming. A woman. Emma should have closed the door. She should have gone downstairs. Instead, she climbed. At the top was a corridor. Old wallpaper. Gas lamps, 4 doors. 10, 11, 12. The door to 12 stood open. Emma approached. Inside, a young woman sat beside a fireplace. She wore a long skirt, white blouse, and her dark hair was pinned behind her head. On the table were dozens of envelopes. The woman looked up. Emma. Emma froze. How do you know my name? The woman smiled. Your post keeps coming to my flat. Emma stepped backwards. The woman's smile disappeared. Don't go. Behind Emma, the staircase was gone. There was only a wall. Emma began pounding against it. Hell! The corridor lights flickered. Doors 9, 10, and 11 slowly opened. People stood inside. Burned, blackened, silent. Sarah stood behind Emma. They've been waiting for someone, she whispered, who still has somewhere to go back to. Emma screamed. Downstairs, Alan heard it. He ran onto the landing and saw Emma's flat door standing open. Her suitcases were inside. Her coat, her phone, everything. But Emma was gone. Police searched the building, the attic, the roof, every flat. Nothing. Emma was officially declared missing 3 years later. Alan moved away soon afterwards. The building was renovated in 2024. During the work, builders removed part of the attic floor. Underneath, they discovered something impossible. A staircase. It descended. Instead of going up, at the bottom was a section of burned corridors sealed between the walls. 4 doors. 9, 10, 11, 12. Inside number 12, they found 5 bodies. 4 were over a century old. The 5th was Emma. Except, according to the pathologist, Emma had been dead for 97 years, and inside her coat pocket, they found an unopened letter addressed to IT next Tinanti Flighty Twive Sheikh ID Fefalo or RT 14 Keldar Stiaries, and nobody opened it. The building was demolished, but sometimes people walking along Calder Street late at night notice something strange. Between numbers 12 and 16, there is occasionally another building, a narrow Victorian building 3 stories high, and in the highest window, a young woman stands